morning, friends. Welcome to Learning with Friends. I'm Pat Fairless from Fairless Stamp and Flair, and it is the second Thursday of March. So on the second Thursday, we do template time. Basically, what I'm doing is showing you a sketch, and then I will show you how you can vary that sketch to make different layouts. Today's has a lot of options, so I think you'll like it. It's pretty simple, not too many pieces. And I'm going to be using a new stamp set that was just introduced for earlier this month, March 4th. I think it became available. It's an online exclusive. I love it. And I've also got some designer series paper that was introduced at the same time that I'll be showing you. So let's flip the camera down and get started. So this is the sketch or the template I'm going to be working with today. It is my sketch number 5. I'm not working in order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just have been collecting them over the years, and so I'm picking and choosing as I like. But it's sketch number 5 today, and as you can see, there's kind of like 3 main elements here. So what I like to show you is first we would have our card base, right? Now we can always put our card base in this direction, landscape or portrait. The sketch shows it in portrait, but it works in landscape, and I have a card for you in landscape. Now on the sketch, it has a layer. You can make this layer designer series paper. Don't worry about my colors here. I'm using scraps of retired stuff to make my little bits and pieces to just show you. But the layer is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. You can make it with or without the layer. This could be DSP. It could be embossed cardstock. You could just totally get rid of it. It's not critical. I kind of like layers, so I left it on the card we're going to make today. And this larger piece over here, now all these measurements are on the sketch, and I will put a link to that sketch in my video. But it might be hard to see. They're kind of small. So this piece, the mat, is 5 by 2 1/4. And again, you could use this as a single piece, or you can use it as a mat and layer it. If you want to layer it, just make your top layer a little bit smaller. For this template, I used 1/8 inch smaller, so we have a small border. You can certainly use quarters if you like to use quarters. And then for this piece over here, the mat is 3 1/2 by 2. And then there's a little piece that gets tucked under here. And this could be a sentiment. It could be anything, really. On today's card that we're going to make, I'm going to turn it into a sentiment, but it doesn't have to be a sentiment. So I am going to make a card using the You Are Remarkable stamp set. It has these beautiful 2-step stamp daisy and some great sentiments. There's a cute little bee down here. Honestly, I haven't figured out what that is yet. I have no clue. If somebody knows what that is, I would love to know. Maybe it's the bee's house. I don't know. Doesn't look like a hive, or maybe it's just meant to make splotches. Who knows? But we got some speckles up here too. So it's a fun stamp set. It does not come with dies. It's not a bundle. It is a single stamp set. And we're going to be using the Woven Textures Designer Series paper. This is also a new online exclusive this month. So let me just show you these. I love them. They all look like woven baskets, kind of, to me. This one looks like some type of cloth, like rough, what's that called? Burlap cloth. And here's another, looks like a weaving for a basket. On the opposite sides, we have different weavings. Look at this one. Isn't this pretty? Here's another diamond-shaped pattern woven. This one definitely looks like a wicker basket, simple wicker basket. And then this one looks like linen. So pretty paper, all in very neutral colors. And it is available. as an online exclusive. So this is the card we're going to make. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started, and we will walk through making this particular card. I am going to do my stamping first. So let me bring in my piercing mat because this is a photopolymer stamp set. And I am going to stamp this large flower with Early Espresso. I'm going to use the two-step stamps. If you wanted to color it with Stampin' Blends, obviously you can. I would then recommend you use Memento ink. Let me just ink this up. I like to do these larger ones from the top down. I don't know about you. Makes it a little easier. And let's just get this centered on here as best we can. It's a little difficult. I'm wondering how I'm going to do on the two-step stamping, because if I look straight down, I don't see the paper, I see the camera. So I might not get this too good. But my card, where I could have my nose right in front of it, it worked fine. It was actually quite easy to line up, but it may not be as easy at an angle. And I know you probably watch a lot of other videos, and everybody sort of says the same thing, right? Camera's always in the way. So let me try. And yeah, it is definitely in the way. So we're just going to take whatever we get, because I cannot really see where it is. Well, let's go with that. It's probably not going to be real great. Oh, could have been worse. Definitely could have been worse. I'm happy with that. I would take that if the camera wasn't there. See what I mean by it is quite easy to line these two-step stamps up on this set. Some steps I find some two-step stamp aligning. I struggle with aligning. But this one's not too bad. Now, I was probably speaking out of turn because I haven't got them all done yet. But let me see how we can do this one. I keep pulling it away so I can see where the lines are, because I can't really see the lines because of I need to be over the camera. So let's see how this turned out. Oh, not that good. But it's okay. We're going to take it. I'll send it to somebody who doesn't know there's supposed to be a line. They'll just think it's artsy, right? And I'm using, that was Peach Pie. This was Granny Apple Green. I have not been telling you the colors. And I'm putting Pecan Pie here in the center. I thought about switching it to, that one's very easy to line up, to Early Espresso, to see if it pops a little bit more. You know what? Let's just go ahead and put that right over that and see how that works. I just want to see what it looks like. So it's an experiment. I don't know. I think they're both fine. The darker one probably looks more realistic, like what a center of a flower would be. You could also make it yellow, but I kind of wanted it to be. All right, so our flower is now done. So do I want to do the sentiment next? Let's do the sentiment next, because I want to show you something here. And I'm going to use this on my sheet, because the sentiments in this stamp set, if you noticed, are tall and skinny, which means they don't really fit on my design. However, I'm going to show you how to mask this very easily into two stamps. And we will use, I'm going to use the one, You Are Remarkable in Every Way. So I'm going to put You Are Remarkable on the front, and in every way, we'll put that on the back. So on the front, I am first going to, I have Scotch tape, plain old Scotch tape, and I am going to cover up this bottom part. And sometimes we have to do this in two steps. because the remarkable kind of turns. So I need to get in here on the I and the N. And my tape is a little wide. So let's just go ahead and narrow that up a little bit so I'm not covering up any of the unremarkable. And I think that's probably pretty good. I'll just stick that extra piece there so I have it out of my way. Now let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment. Now if you noticed, it does, per the template, it does tuck under here, so I'm going to keep it towards the left edge. And this is called masking. Now, what you don't want to do is forget to pull off your tape, because if you do, that's what you get, a big fat mess.
I know
that
from lots of experience.
It's like, oh, you just get in a hurry and it's so easy to forget to pull off the tape, right? You don't want to do that. You want to pull off the tape. And I'll throw it away. All right. And since it took me a minute to get that off, I'm just going to huff on it just to re-wet it just a tad. And let's go and stamp that right here. Okay, that'll work. And we'll use the bottom part of it for the inside. But let's go ahead and finish up the card front based on our template. I'll grab the template here. And I am making this card exactly like the template. The two additional cards I'm going to show you, I mixed it up a bit. I used the template as my starting point, but I changed it up, so you'll see. And of course, I should have put that. Would have been smarter to put that tape on the Very Vanilla. It's so easy. You guys will not get it, how easy it is to mess up when you're doing this on the camera. I don't know why. Nerves, hoping everything has to be perfect, or wanting everything to be perfect. Believe me, I am far, far from perfect. I make a lot of mistakes. That's the best way I learn, is by making mistakes. It's not always the most fun way to learn, but you tend to remember it better. That's for sure. You probably are not perfect either, and so totally understand. So I am putting a piece of this designer paper. I'm using this burlap design, and it's on a pecan pie card base. I've not been watching where I am relative to the frame, because I'm not too bad. Like you know, I tend to want to pull it towards me. All right, so now if we check out our template, this is my insides over here. We're going to lay this directly on the card front. So let's just go ahead and adhere that. And sometimes, I will give you a hint, sometimes it is best to have all your pieces first, so you can kind of figure out where you want to put it, how close to the edge do you want it, how close to the top or the bottom, how much do I want this one to overlap this one. The template doesn't tell you that, it just gives you a picture, and do it however you like. But obviously I've made one of these, so I kind of had it figured out. So I didn't necessarily do that, but that is a good idea, is to have all your elements completed just like we did, and then kind of lay it on there and figure out where you want it. Here I do have to figure a little bit, because if I put this too far over, now this is going to hang off the card. So I do have to, I want it to extend just a little bit. That's what they show in the template. And then I need to make sure my whole sentiment here is still showing. what I have found with this template works great is just flip it over, put some tape on here, some adhesive, whatever you like, and stick it to the back. Okay. Now I can put this wherever I want. I've got it already as an assembly and I don't have to worry about covering up the back of my, or part of my sentiment. And I put this on with dimensionals. So we are going to go ahead and add dimensionals on here. I'm going to put one right here on the end. Another one. I probably put more dimensionals than I have to, but I like when it stays up. I don't like it to collapse when I mail it. I want it to still have its dimension once it gets to its recipient. So I want it to overlap just a bit. So do I want it low? Do I want it centered? Don't think it totally matters. We'll just put it right there. Okay, and now all that's left are embellishments. Now the template does suggest, these are a couple little embellishments up here. So I'm following the template. So I'm going to use some of these retired brushed metallic dots. I don't have many left. But they're kind of a little bit larger, and I thought the little larger things looked better, and the brushed metallic added a little pop of shine. So let's just go ahead and add that up here. And then around the butterfly, or around the flower, of course, butterflies. So let's go ahead and just add some butterflies. And I liked one right down here on my, you know what, I'm going to use the bigger one down there. I have one large one left on this pad of paper, or pad of butterflies. So I'm going to put him down here. There. Don't worry, I got more of these. They were celebration items, and I love these butterflies. And so I ordered 2 more packs of these for free. Well, I had to spend $60 to get them. We like to think of it as free, right? If I had bought them, I'd have to pay for them. So, all right, so that concludes the front of the card. Let's just do a quick inside, and I will show you once again how we mask that sentiment. Clean off a bit here. Dry it on my pants. And now I'm going to use my Scotch tape to mask the top of the sentiment. Now I'm probably going to have to use a little couple pieces right here because this is curved. On my first card I made, I used a different sentiment, and I didn't realize when I decided to use this one now that it's got a curve on it, but it's all right. Now when I put strips on the side, I like to lay them in place before I stamp so I know where to position the stamp. Sometimes I have stamped first, and then when I put this on, it's too close to the strip. So just a hint, just lay that in place. I tell you, if you're a really, really good stamper and you never muff up and have to use the other side, then just go ahead and adhere it down. But I'm not that good. So I like to keep the option of being able to use the other side of my cardstock, because I often have to. All right, so I'm just pulling this mask off. I used Scotch tape. It makes it easier to see where you're putting it. You can use any kind of masking paper or masking tape. I often use my painter's tape. The one that sucks for painting but works great for crafts. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp that. And now we can put down our little decorative strip. I don't have to worry about dropping my, who's done that? You drop your ink stamp on your cardstock and you got a big smudge, or you just get a bad stamp. That happens a lot of times. I'm not sure. We don't press down evenly or something. And again, I tend to always just make these longer. Helps me to not cut them too short. I'd rather put it on and have it extend over. Plus the little tails on the end kind of help to hold it to get it stuck down. You know, you got a little something to grip here as opposed to getting it where the glue is. So we will quickly finish this card up and I can show you my two other ones that are use the template but modified. We'll call it a modified version of the template. Okay, this on the inside. All right, our card is completed. You are remarkable in every single way. That's a nice message to send to somebody, isn't it? I think so. Let's go ahead and decorate our, I'm using my template because I didn't bring any scrap paper over here. I forget something every video. I get over here and I'm like, it's my biggest fear is forgetting something and not having it handy. And I think I have scared myself into doing it every time. This time I forgot scrap paper. Last week I actually forgot the card that I wanted to show. I had it on the other side of the room, the completed one. Oh, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. So we just adhere that to the flat. My favorite this way, I think, to decorate an envelope is to just put some DSP on the flat. I could have stamped the flower on the front. That would look pretty too. Still could if I wanted. But we're just going to go with the designer paper. And there we go. There is our completed card. Same as the one, same as this one, just a different sentiment. So I can use them for different occasions, right? But let me show you the other two. So here's one that I did in the landscape position instead of portrait. Let me grab that template again just to remind you. Here was the template, and all I did was rotate it in this direction. I didn't really change anything else. I did cut this as a flag. I made it a little wider because my stamp was wider. And this is Timeless Plaid designer paper and the Cheerful Daisy stamp set, which has been around for a long time, and I'm wondering if it's going to get retired soon. But I thought that was pretty. When I use designer paper like this, I tend to pick my colors from the paper. So this had Wild Wheat and Calypso Coral. Inside, I just added a strip around the bottom. Your friendship means everything. That seems like a card that I want to just write a personal message. So that's that one in opposite location. And here's this one where I use different shapes. But if you look at the template, you can see I've got a larger mat here, a medium size here, and something in this direction. And this one does exactly that. I had to shove them up and down because if I put it in the center like this, I was covering up this, the sentiment up here. This is from the, what is it called? Everyday Arches stamp set. And these sentiments are from that. The designer paper is Everyday Skies. It's part of that suite of products. And Wishing You the Brightest Birthday, I believe, was from the Cheerful Daisies. So again, just a little bit different twist on a sketch, but that's the point. That's what's important with the sketch, right? A sketch is a thought starter. It's to get the juices flowing and make you think of things. Because a lot of times you'll see a sketch and you go, oh, but I could change it like this and then it better fit the stamp set that I want to use. So don't be afraid to do that with sketches. That's what they're meant for, really, just as thought starters and to give you some ideas. So I hope you like that. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you would share it with a friend, that would be awesome. I'd love that. Help my channel grow by sharing with others. And we like to learn together. It's so much easier than learning all by ourselves. So have a great day, and we will see you next week with something short and simple. Have a good one. Bye-bye.